I lost $10,000 on an emotional decision made in 5 minutes. Then I learned the 48-hour rule. It saved me from countless disasters since. One simple rule. Wait 48 hours before any major decision. That's it. And it will change your life. Here's the psychology behind why it works. Welcome back to Psych Insights. Your brain makes terrible decisions when emotions are high. Rage, quit your job. Text your ex. Buy something you can't afford. Emotional decisions feel urgent. They're not. They're just loud. I'm breaking down the psychology of emotional decision-making, why the 48-hour rule is the most powerful defense you have, and exactly how to use it starting today. Let's decode impulse control. First, let's talk about why decisions made in emotional states are almost always wrong. When you're emotional, angry, sad, excited, scared, your brain shifts control. The prefrontal cortex, your rational decision-making center, gets suppressed. The amygdala, your emotional alarm system, takes over. This is called amygdala hijack. And when the amygdala is in control, you're running on survival instincts, not logic. In survival mode, your brain prioritizes short-term relief over long-term consequences. You're not thinking about tomorrow, you're thinking about now. I'm angry, so I need to respond right now. I'm sad, so I need to fix this right now. I'm excited, so I need to act right now. That urgency is the emotion talking, not your judgment. Here's the problem. Emotions are temporary. They fade. But decisions are permanent. You can't unsend that text. You can't unquit that job. You can't unbuy that car. The emotion passes in hours or days. The consequences last months or years. Studies show that decisions made in high emotional states have a 90% regret rate. 90%. That means 9 out of 10 times when you decide something while emotional, you'll wish you hadn't. Think about your own life. How many times have you sent a message in anger and regretted it within an hour? How many purchases have you made while excited that felt stupid a week later? How many relationships have you ended or started impulsively and thought, "What was I thinking?" later? That's an amygdala hijack. Your brain convinces you that the decision is urgent. It's not. The urgency is the emotion, and emotions lie. So here's the rule. Wait 48 hours before making any major decision while emotional. That's it. Simple, powerful, life-changing. Major decision means anything with lasting consequences. Quitting your job, ending a relationship, making a large purchase, sending an angry message, starting a new business, moving cities. Any decision that can't easily be undone. When you feel that emotional urgency, I need to do this now, that's your signal to activate the 48-hour rule. You tell yourself, I can make this decision, but not today, not right now. I'll revisit this in 48 hours. Here's what happens in those 48 hours. Your amygdala calms down, your prefrontal cortex comes back online, the emotional intensity fades. You start seeing the situation clearly instead of through the distortion of emotion. After 48 hours, one of two things happens. Either you still want to make that decision, but now you're calm and can think through it rationally, or you realize the decision was purely emotional and you don't actually want to do it anymore. Real example from my life. I was furious at a business partner. I drafted a long email ending the partnership. It felt justified, it felt necessary, it felt urgent. Then I remembered the 48-hour rule. I saved the draft, didn't send it. 48 hours later, I reread it. It was embarrassing. I was angry, but ending the partnership would have destroyed a project I cared about over a fixable issue. I never sent that email. We worked it out. Today, we're still partners, and that business is thriving. The 48-hour rule saved a major part of my career. It's done that dozens of times since, and it will do that for you too. So why 48 hours specifically? Why not 24 or 72? 48 hours is the sweet spot for emotional regulation. Research shows that intense emotions peak within the first few hours and decline significantly by 48 hours. The initial spike fades. You're not numb to the situation, but you're no longer flooded by the emotion. It's also long enough to sleep on it twice. Sleep is critical for emotional processing. Your brain consolidates emotions during sleep. When you wake up, you have perspective you didn't have the night before. Sleeping on it isn't just a saying, it's neuroscience. And 2 nights gives you even more clarity. But 48 hours isn't so long that you lose momentum or avoid necessary decisions. If you wait a week, You might start rationalizing inaction. 48 hours keeps you in the window of action while removing the impulse. There's also a psychological benefit. The act of implementing the 48-hour rule gives you a sense of control. When emotions are high, you feel out of control. By saying, "I'm choosing to wait 48 hours, you're taking back control. That alone reduces the emotional intensity. And here's the best part. The 48-hour rule doesn't stop you from making the decision. It just stops you from making it impulsively. If the decision is still right after 48 hours, you make it. You just make it from a place of clarity instead of chaos. Some people worry, what if I need to respond now? In 99% of cases, you don't. The only true emergencies are physical safety situations. Everything else can wait 48 hours. Your anger can wait. Your excitement can wait. Your sadness can wait. The world won't end if you don't react immediately. So how do you actually use the 48-hour rule? Here's the step-by-step process. Step 1. Recognize the emotional trigger. When you feel that surge of anger, excitement, sadness, or fear, and you feel the urge to act immediately, pause. That's the moment. That's when you say to yourself, "I'm emotional right now. This is exactly when I need the 48-hour rule." Step 2. Remove the ability to act impulsively. If it's a text or email, draft it but don't send it. Save it to drafts. If it's a purchase, put it in your cart but don't check out. If it's quitting your job, write the resignation but don't submit it. Create friction between the impulse and the action. Step 3. Set a reminder for exactly 48 hours. Not sometime in 2 days. Exactly 48 hours. Put it in your phone. Calendar alert. Revisit decision about whatever it is. This gives your brain permission to stop obsessing. You've scheduled the decision. You don't have to think about it until then. Step 4. Distract yourself. For the next 48 hours, actively avoid ruminating on the decision. This isn't avoidance. You've scheduled when you'll address it. But constantly replaying the situation just re-triggers the emotion. Distract yourself with work, hobbies, friends, exercise. Let your brain reset. Step 5. Revisit after 48 hours. When the reminder goes off, revisit the decision. Read that draft email. Look at that purchase. Think about that choice. How do you feel now? If you still want to do it, but from a calm place, do it. If you realize it was purely emotional, delete it and move on. Here's a critical point. The 48-hour rule isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about separating emotion from action. Feel the anger. Feel the sadness. Feel the excitement. That's healthy. Just don't let those feelings dictate permanent decisions. Feel it fully, then decide from clarity. Let's address the common objections to the 48-hour rule. Objection 1, but I'll lose the opportunity. Maybe. But if an opportunity requires you to decide in the next 5 minutes while you're emotionally charged, it's probably not a good opportunity. Real opportunities allow for thoughtful decision-making. Scams and manipulations rely on urgency. Act now or lose out forever is a red flag, not a reason to rush. Objection 2. I'll forget how I feel. You won't. If it matters, it'll still matter in 48 hours. And if it doesn't matter in 48 hours, it didn't actually matter. The emotion fading is the point. If the issue disappears with the emotion, it was never really an issue. Objection 3. What if I'm still emotional after 48 hours? Then wait another 48 hours. The rule isn't decide after 48 hours no matter what. It's don't decide before 48 hours. If you're still flooded after 2 days, give it 4 days. Keep extending until you're calm. Now, are there exceptions? Yes. Physical safety. If you're in danger, act immediately. Don't wait 48 hours to leave an abusive situation or call for help. The 48-hour rule is for decisions, not emergencies. Also, some decisions benefit from emotional input. Choosing to propose to your partner? That's emotional and beautiful. Don't wait 48 hours for that. The rule applies to decisions made in negative high arousal states, anger, fear, panic, desperation, or impulsive positive states, manic excitement, infatuation. Not to decisions made from stable, positive emotions like love, contentment, or excitement that's been building over time. Here's your challenge. Starting today, commit to the 48-hour rule. The next time you feel emotional and want to make a big decision, stop. Recognize it. Apply the rule. Wait 48 hours. You'll be shocked at how many bad decisions you avoid. And when you do make decisions after 48 hours, you'll make them with confidence because you know they weren't just emotional reactions. Download a note in your phone right now. Title it, 48-Hour Rule. Write down any decision you're tempted to make impulsively. Date it. Revisit in exactly 48 hours. Start building the habit today. Have you ever made a decision emotionally that you regretted? Comment below what it was. Let's learn from each other's mistakes. And if the 48-hour rule saves you from a bad decision this week, come back and tell me. I want to hear your success stories. Hit subscribe for psychology that protects your future self from your current emotions. Thanks for watching. Stay patient, and I'll see you in the next one.